Early Morning Express.
Good morning.
Welcome once again. This is still the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. It's that time of the conversation where we allow you to speak to us about your opinions on the matters that have been addressed earlier. Now, as opposed to other days where we select the stories for conversation, today being Open Mic Thursday, you get to be the one to pick the story that you would focus on for the 2 minutes that would be allotted to you over the phone. M쏘ɪɪļ Babalola Fuhad Saheed will join us very briefly to speak further on some of the matters he found to be most significant to him this morning. And right after that, you as well get to opine on these matters. We have multiple channels through which you can communicate with us this morning as we take your feedback. We have the phone line 0913-6000-410. We have text message or WhatsApp 0913-6000-430. We also have Facebook and YouTube that currently doubles as our streaming platform, as we're streaming the program live on both Facebook and YouTube, and you can find us via the handle at Mainland 98.3 FM. We reviewed quite a number of stories this morning, but be reminded you have an opportunity to bring up any story as long as it's relevant and as long as it does not in any way pose a problem for anyone. By all means, you can bring up that subject matter and allow us to talk about it. Like I said, Fuad will speak briefly before I turn the microphone over to you. So Fuad, good morning again. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you, Sid. Thanks for having me.
Please go ahead.
All right. I think my focus this morning would have to be the cabinet reshuffle that we've seen. So much about the decision of the president, dropping 5, appointing new 7, redeploying 10 others. A lot of conversations around his commitment to cutting down the cost of governance. There are also a report that talks about, reducing how big the government size is. Also decisions like, scrapping the Ministry of Niger Delta to bring up a regional ministry that now monitors the new development commissions and even the Ministry of Niger, the Niger Delta Development Commission. Again, questions around the need for us to have a minister or a ministry for that kind of job, really, because people are asking questions. If the development commissions are going to be working with the president and also with the subnational leaders, why do we need a ministry to monitor, basically, the activities of these development commissions? Even though, with our experience with the NDDC, there are people who are skeptical again about the future of these development commissions when it comes to real impact on the lives of the people of these regions. And then when it comes to the number of ministers that have been dropped, there are people who feel that the president should have also dropped himself as a minister and appoint someone who is going to be very professional, who is going to be hands-on, who is going to be busy looking at how to bring to home the needed reforms in the Nigerian oil sector, the petroleum sector. But it's hard to still retain that position. And there are people who think he should have been the number 1 on the list when it comes to, taking himself off the burden of that particular sector so that he can also have the opportunity to focus on governance generally. But again, that's a conversation that we'll continue to have. But be that as it may, I think my final thought on today's issue would be for us to appeal to the president to show more empathy, not just in words, but in action, to the plight of Nigerians at this time. Statements like, it's either you buy PMS at 1,000 or you go for CNG, for me does not show real empathy on the part of the president to the plight of Nigerians at this time. I also think the president should begin to surround himself with people that can tell him the truth. This idea of people just urging him on, the psychophants around him, the praise singers who would never say anything wrong in what he does, is not going to help him. I think he needs to bring in some people who can actually lock himself up and say, Mr. President, you're not doing the right thing. And at the end of the day, I can only urge the president, appeal to him to look more about the legacy he's going to be leaving behind as president, rather than the immediate gains of him becoming president and all of the opportunities and benefits that comes with it. God bless Nigeria.
Well, thank you very much for your perspective on the matter. We appreciate you. All right, then. It's time for you to speak to us, opine on these matters. The cabinet reshuffle being one of the primary conversations that are being had across the media right this very moment. But then, like I said, you're not specifically just to speak on that subject matter. If you would like to talk about it, by all means. And if you would rather speak about another issue, by all means. Remember, you have just 2 minutes for your submission. And I implore you that once you start to get the prompt to round off your thoughts, you do exactly that. If you'd like to address multiple stories, then manage the time that you have. Spend at least 1 minute on one story so you can talk about more. And if you're sending a message via our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, or WhatsApp, I would please implore you to give me the benefit of brevity so that I can conveniently read your messages and get straight to the point. I understand the need for you to want to be poetic, but for the sake of time, I might not have the luxury to go through every single message. So if you're addressing a subject matter, get straight to the point, address the matters you want to address so I could get the information out there. Thank you so much for your understanding. The phone lines once again 0913 6000410. WhatsApp and text message is 0913 6000430. On Facebook and on YouTube it is at Mainland 98.3 FM. Let's take our first call for the morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sister.
Yes, good morning to you.
I get you. It's Professor. Yes,
would you want to be okay? Not really. Your connection is really terrible. You might need to call back, please. You might need to call back. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sis.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Fuhad. This is Sergeant from Abadi Junction.
Welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So what I want to say is, as a human being that I am, if I have maybe someone that I'm so much trusted in both in character, in maybe other ways, the ways of his life, and I've been following such one, and at a point, he deceived me into believing what has not been, that he has been, then that person eventually maybe get to that thing that he made me to believe that has not been, and say it has been now. Then why would I be following such character? Now, why I'm asking this is that someone, I remember 2012, told us that subsidy is a scam. These people put this thing up to oppress the poor. These people eat all the future of what is made for their children. These people done all these bad things. And eventually, the same person he got to power today, the same subsidy he called a scam. He removed it all ceremoniously, and people are now thrown into abject poverty. And people are still following and believing and still believing such one. And look at all the promises of CNG, all the bag of rice 40,000, all the promises of Agbewale, all the other things. He's still lying. I say, I'm lost that we are human beings, and yet we just like, Mali, when he say follow, we still don't reason very well. People are still following such, believing such character. It's still something that beats my imagination. That's what I want to say. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for your call. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Mrs. Saheed.
Bye.
My name is Tğᴜ calling from Ogun State.
Welcome.
I want to use this opportunity to appreciate Mr. Fuhad. He has spoken my mind this morning, and I want to appreciate Mainland FM for all the encouragement people have been giving to us. It's just an opportunity that we have the leader who does not show concern about the nation. So my prayer is this for you people and those people who are not supporting this government for what they are doing, that God will bless you all for all that you people are doing. My name is 𝐴ᴏᴏᴜ, and God help us to survive this regime in the name of Jesus Christ.
Thank you for your call.
Amen.
Hello.
Hello.
Turn down the volume on your radio, sir.
Morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yes, hello.
We're with you. Go ahead.
My take would be on the issue of this CNG and
and the issue of to buy petrol at 1,000. This statement the president made, just like why he's so arrogant and grandstanding to me. He's not appealing in any form. He does not have any human faith. How can you be giving us such orders? When he was campaigning, this is not part of the bargain now. This is not what he told us now. He told us, meaning in Yoruba, that we reduce the price of petrol, we reduce it, we make it to come down. And he's now telling us that when he ascended to power, was petrol close to 1,000. No, I think it was 3 something or thereabout. Now you shut it up to twice up to about 1,000. Now you are commanding us that you either buy at this rate or you buy. It's quite unfortunate. In fact, the respect I have for me as the minister, honestly, before I respected him so much, taking into consideration the political sagacity, we are always the same. But now it seems to me that I don't want to say anything on complimentary on radio, but it seems to me that in fact his administration lacks direction, honestly. And the ministers, what is that? Which of them have performed? None of them, including him, as regards to maintain their position. He should decide as the minister of petroleum. Good morning.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Thomas. I'm calling from Tğᴜ.
All right.
Concerning the IMF that is advising Nigeria that we should strengthen our taxation system, there is this adage in Yoruba language. They are the one introducing all manners of policy programs, and they turn around to be mocking us that 20 million students are malnutrition, 20 million students are out of school. The level of poverty is becoming unbearable in Nigeria. So I can't blame them. I blame those that are gullible. It's not as if they are gullible, they are self-centered. Those that are embracing. This professor once told us that when all these manners of programs are introduced, we should be careful in embracing them, that we should look at this, ask ourselves the question that those countries that are involved, are they implementing the same policy in their own countries too? That is for that. Concerning our president and those ministers he has appointed, I just want to tell those that have been exonerating Mr. President from all the shenanigans and atrocity going on in the petroleum industry, that I believe by now they should have known that through his pronouncement that we should either buy 1,000 naira per liter or buy what is not available. In economics, before you can say something is in close substitute, that thing must be readily available. Is CNG available? The answer is no. So everything is a scam. I don't know why people still believe or cast their hope on this kind of president.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you for your call. Let's go to Facebook and read messages. On ᴏᴏᴜ Michael says, "Hello Mainland FM. In my own view, the options given to Nigerians by the president to pick between buying PMS for 1,000 naira to a litre or CNG for 200 naira per meter as is laughable, and that of dictatorship. The reason the president is in power is to make life comfortable for the citizens. To me, I see the statement as a confirmation that there's no assurance that the 4 national refinery with so much money spent on will be realistic. If I may ask, has the president or any government official convert their cars to CNG? Is PMS that Nigerians have been using for long, is it not better than CNG that has not been tested or trusted, especially putting into consideration the country's climatic condition and the bad roads, which have become something of a death trap? Can anyone convince me how someone who cannot afford to buy a litre of fuel for 1,000 naira will now have the money to convert their car to CNG for 1.2 million? Is this not a case of from frying pan to fire? The government should have a rethink. Finally, on the country's debt profile, I feel the IMF itself is confused on the script given to her to read. The only way out of this is for our dear country to reduce the cost of governance and their reckless spending. God bless Nigeria. Temitok Onotoye from Ijagamo community. Thank you so very much. John Bernard Ohi says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. On the issue of cabinet reshuffle, I don't see any positive change. How can you scrap 2 ministries and create another 2 in place of it? You sack 5 ministers and appoint 7. Do you know that a certain Ibrahim Gaidam is the Minister of Police Affairs? Who is the Minister of Environment? By the way, you did not sack Wဃ쏘ᴛsAᴘᴘ, the Minister of Marine and Black economy. The president only sacks those that have no political value come 2027. Atondakaide Samuel said, I really understand Fuad. A broken broom is better than the torn umbrella. All right, thank you very much for your messages on Facebook. Keep them coming in. Let's do WhatsApp for a bit. We have Wale Oguntokun from GRA Ikeja that says, good morning to you in the studio. Whether or not Dangote Petroleum sells fuel to marketers directly, or whether the NNPCL sells crude oil to Dangote in Naira, if this does not lead to any reduction in fuel price, there is no use to us Nigerians. On the cabinet reshuffle, I'm even hearing some of the names of the ministers relieved for the first time. I'm wondering what Uju Kennedy was sent packing for. I think she was doing a good job in the women's ministry. The regional government being a no-no by Baba Obasanjo. That is his opinion. He doesn't own Nigeria. Some other Nigerians think it is part of the solution because the only time we made meaningful progress was when we had a regional government. Thank you and enjoy your day. You enjoy your day as well. We have here, hello Milan FM. With the terrible economic situation the country has been forced into, parents are now withdrawing their children from private school and enrolling them in public schools. I feel this is the best time for the government, especially Lagos State government, to prove that public school is better than private in terms of providing adequate and qualified teachers, because from my observation, I discovered that the students don't usually complete their daily subject. School inspectors should move around these public schools unannounced to inspect. Finally, I would like to appeal to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Deputy Governor, Dr. Hamzat, to please tell the contractor handling Ijegun-Ijagemo Road construction under IBA LCDA to kindly speed up work, as construction has not started at all at Ojo-Odo bus stop along Ijagemo Road, which is the most flood-prone area. We also appeal to IKDC, Ijegun Business Unit Kotun, to please give us constant power supply, because that is what we are relying on to pump water. God bless Nigeria. Temitakpe Onotoye from Ijagamo community. Thank you very much. Another message here reads, I am not particularly impressed with the reshuffle of the cabinet. It does not make any sense or any impact. The president ought to make Bianca Senior Minister of Foreign Affairs and not State. The Minister of Works, Dave, is not performing. I drove to Nigeria Road yesterday from Abuja to Lagos. The roads are bad. Ibaji, Lokoja, Okene, Ikare, and so on are bad. For the ammunition purchase, it means another opportunity to loot. Lan in Lekki. All right, thank you, Lan. On WhatsApp still, good morning, Sage and Fuad. The president cabinet reshuffle is a welcome development, but it also raises concern, especially since there has been a call for a leaner government. The president discharged 5 ministers and appointed 7 new ones, merging 2 ministries to create another. Interestingly, we now have a Ministry of Livestock, which seems unnecessary. I expect more changes, particularly in the economic sector, since we haven't seen any tangible results in the last year. It is unacceptable for the government to leave lavishly while the citizens are expected to make sacrifices. The government needs to consider the human impact of their decisions and find more empathetic solutions. Palumi Lawrence from Lagos is the author of that one. And we have here, good morning, beautiful people of Mainland FM. Once again, this Tinubu-led APC government has continued to engage themselves in shadow chasing in the name of a cabinet reshuffle, which is not only a cosmetic approach to the present hardship in the land, but pure diversionary political tactics and a display of total irresponsibility. Hence, the president has failed to first sack himself as the Minister of Petroleum and also announced the reversal of any of his anti-people policies, which is the bane of our economic standing in the country. Enthronement of APC in 2015 is a colossal mistake, and it must be reversed as quickly as possible before Nigeria sinks completely. These are my thoughts. Victor Aloigbuke from Ikeja. Thank you very much, Victor, for your opinion. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Sage, my name is, please, I want to get Oga Fuad. My own open mind this morning is about the cabinet reshuffle. me, I don't see anything new that is coming up. Nothing new. You see the same old wine in new bottle. You understand? And to talk about it, the cabinet reshuffle is not is affecting Nigeria presently as we speak now. But to me, it's significant to me as a person because it does not reduce the fuel price, rather it did not also reduce the price of food stuff in the market. So it's just a form of a moment that the other government have been doing. We need to let me also do my own. You understand? So those who are happy about it should continue. That's my whole protocol. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, Babalola.
Good morning.
Good morning, I like this one.
All right.
Yeah, the topic of that, especially the subment or the sacking of ministers. To me, that is not what Nigeria wants. I remember when President Tᴜᴇ started, his government. The constitution, the constitutional, minister Nigeria is supposed to have is 35 ministers. It changed it to almost 50. What do you get from it? Nothing. Inflation and suffering of Nigeria. Now you said you start 5, you now put 7 again. So what do you have on that? Wasting of funds. You see, the president does not address the immediate needs of Nigeria. We have to say it. Nigeria voted for you to come and solve their problem. It's aggravating. And if you are talking of the efficiency of the ministers, last time you have not even mentioned one day about our refinery. And what is the Nigerian facing on the issue of petroleum? It's suffering. We have about 4 refineries, you have not addressed it, you have not solved the problem, insecurity is there. You are not changing minister. Maybe changing minister for which benefit? This is sort of for Nigerian benefit. You see, you are not suffering, you are aggravating our problem. So we have to say the truth. Which voted for you? So, you see, this is the problem we are facing. And look, and at the same time, let me use this opportunity to talk to Lagos State government. We heard it from the news as you have narrated, Babalola. The deputy governor said Lagos is sinking. It's not only sinking. They call it mega city. It's no more mega city. About 2 weeks ago, the governor of Lagos is someone who went and inaugurated the empowerment of women. He told the Lagosian, he said, whatever you saw in Lagos that can make Lagos progressive, say it out. We have been saying it. Lagos is more or less a jungle city. You allow all this liquor to turn it to anywhere. You cannot walk freely. Go to the best cinema if the people walk anyhow in the Ikeja, in the Ikorodu road. So what I'm talking, we have security. So what I'm saying is that's why I say it's no more mega city. Lagos State in the House of Assembly to sit up. We are representing Lagosians. We talk to the Commissioner of Police, sanitize Lagos. Have a nice day.
Have a better one. Thank you so very much for calling. 0913-600-0410 is the phone line. This is Mainland Focus Open Mic Thursday, where you get to speak your mind regarding any subject matter as long as it is of national relevance. I'm Mʃɪɪ Babalola. Everyone is entitled to 2 minutes of conversation if you are calling, and if you're sending a text message, you can do so either via the live chat option on our streaming platform on Facebook and on YouTube, or a text message or WhatsApp message. The number for text messages 0913-600-0430, and for phone calls is 0913-600-0410. The live chat option is available for you as well on Facebook and on YouTube. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, morning.
Yes, good morning, Sandra.
Good morning to you.
How are you? My name is Shola.
All right.
Calling from my brother. Yeah. So, talking about the reshufflement or dismissal, like Bayo Ononuga called it, to put it mildly, that they were not sacked, or maybe he said they were discharged or something. But that is not what will solve the problem on ground. This president is just using diversionary strategies or tactics. He's not addressing what is actually affecting Nigerians. See, why I am not so surprised or bothered is because from the onset, some of us knew this man had nothing to offer. The people that are complaining the most now are those that believed in him. Here we are. Look at even the statement coming out of the house as regards the that Nigerians should pick if you maybe buying for 1,000 or we buy CNG for 200. Such manner of how would I put it? It's a careless talk, lack of empathy. So it's just not about complaining. I said I will not be complaining. The only thing is that the people, this is a lesson. There's a thing that the people deserve the kind of government that they have. So let us all suffer this thing, so that maybe we'll get to wiser. It seems the Nigerians are even being captured. I don't know. Maybe we are under a spell. But I know that I'm not under a spell, and some of us, like some people like me, you understand. So let others rise up, so that next time we will push aside sentiment and go for competence. God bless you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Hello. Hello.
Morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay, this is Mother Sage, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I talk to my friend Fuhad.
He's well.
Yes. This is Barrister Peter Oku. I'm calling from Mendy, Maryland.
Welcome.
Yes. Yes. On today's open mic, my take is on this issue of cabinet reshuffle. See, cabinet reshuffle to me is not a major problem. It's just like when you are students in the school, you take exams, and based on your performance, maybe you are promoted or you are not promoted. But when it comes to cabinet appointment, it is a little bit different. You find out that there is not much sincerity when it comes to this issue of cabinet reshufflement, because it's just a one-man thing that the examiner decides everything. There is no opportunity to re-examine, So my frustration is that sometimes the president makes it difficult for the minister to perform. There sometimes some of them will want to see the president for 2 weeks. They cannot see him. So I think it requires a lot of sincerity, when it comes to cabinet reshuffle. But my major concern is that the president ought to have started for himself as Minister of Petroleum. Why did he make himself Minister of Agriculture? Why is he interested mainly on the Minister of Petroleum? Because he's left deep in the oil industry. He owns Oando. You can verify through investigative journalism. How can he be Minister of Petroleum when his own family owns company?
Hold on a second. We understand you and how confident you are in your information or whatever perspective you might have. All right, thank you very much. But for the sake of conversation and for the sake of radio, I'll just advise that when you're giving your submissions, as long as something is not a statement of fact, or the individual that is being accused of these things have not outrightly said that they are indeed responsible for these things, I'll just prefer that you not reference it whilst you're making your point. It just makes my job easier, and it also takes away the need for me to have to cut you short or interrupt you when you're giving your submission. So please, you might have your conspiracy theories and all of your logical thinking or all of these information that you believe you're certain of. That's fine, it's your own opinion. But again, for the sake of public discourse, I'll just prefer that you keep that information to yourself and not announce it as a statement of fact when you call on a platform that millions of people are listening to you on. All right, just for the sake of conversation. Thank you very much for your understanding. We're going to move to another phone call. 0913-6000410. Hello. Hello.
Good morning to you.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello.
We're with you. Go ahead, please.
Oh, hello.
We're with you. Good morning. We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. It's not Babalola.
It's Sage Babalola. Please introduce yourself, where you're calling from, and tell us why.
Okay, my name is M쏘ɪᴜ calling you from Amuodofi.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. This one, Babalola, I'm sorry. And now, I want to talk about ministerial being in place now. The one they sacked, thank God, if he prayer the authority to do what he's doing right now. But he remain one minister to go, and that's the minister for agriculture. I've been talking about this man, and then maybe this thing of sacking or so on some these ministers. I want that minister to go, because in this country today, when we say we don't have this, we don't have that, we have fighters that can grow what we can eat in this country. We need mechanized farming, and the minister in charge supposed to be up to task. Go in fact. When you see a minister, we are the minister for agriculture, no. Go to site where there is a fertile land. Agriculture is the key right now as I'm talking to you, Sage. I'm a farmer. If you say farmer don't finish, I'll be still me. I will raise up my hand and say I'm one of them. So for me, in my state of so we have land over there. In the southwest, we have land over there. Our governor, they want to do more. As I'm talking to you now, I'm not happy with my governor. They must go back to the land. We need mechanized farm. We can feed ourselves. That land, that's everything possible to feed the nation. Let me stop. God bless you.
Bless you too. Thank you very much for your insight. Let's pause a bit, take messages. All right, we have here President Tinubu have just done body shaking that doesn't amount to movement. If he wants us to take him seriously, then he should have started with the petroleum and defense ministers, and they have been the worst performing so far. Then he also has no reason to keep the draining pipeline they call Humanitarian Affairs Ministry, and anyone surprised about the crisis in the PDP and some of the opposition parties is just a learner. Some of us know how much energy the so-called ruling party is putting to destroy the other parties instead of spending their resources in developing the economy and the people. They know that greed and selfishness is what is the major element of all the parties, and they are only helping the other parties to make a mess of themselves. But it's obvious that APC themselves would have their own issues, and PDP and the other opposition is a sorry case for Nigerians. Thank you very much, Steve, for your message. We have here, good morning, people of Mainland FM. It's very shameful for any person from the APC to tell us not to vote for any other party. Voting for any other party is a waste of vote. Are we normal in this society? Why should APC tell us to alter our own desires? Well, all blame goes to INEC and the judiciary that is winning election for the ruling party. How can any reasonable person cast his vote for APC? All right, thank you very much, Mayor. Took a lot to edit your message, but yeah. Good morning. I don't know the work of the Minister for State when we have directors in all ministries, and we're preaching on cutting the cost of governance. It's laughable that a man appointed a Minister of Women Affairs. Nigeria Hill, Mr. President telling us to buy fuel for 1,000 naira or go for CNG does not show any empathy for the citizens' plight. Andrew from Otta sends that particular one. Another message on WhatsApp we have here. Good morning, Sage and Fuad. If any minister is to be sacked and replaced, I think it will be the Minister of Petroleum. Inasmuch as President Tinubu is still combining Minister of Petroleum, we cannot go anywhere as far as petroleum, which is the life wire of Nigeria economy, is concerned. To me, sacking and appointing or reappointing of ministers cannot solve the problem of hardship, hunger and insecurity. The president should please fulfill his campaign promise of reducing the pump price and making electricity available and affordable to Nigerians, not the opposite. For the Ministry of Niger Delta by the president, I'm not sure he was advised properly. I'm not sure he's aware what made former President Yar'Adua to create the ministry. We will see how it goes. Benjamin from Shogunle. All right, thank you very much. Steve Ikelu here says, my open mic this morning is on the cabinet reshuffle. As much as I applaud the change, the president should have started with himself by relinquishing relinquishing the portfolio as the oil minister. Nigeria's problem today centers more on the oil sector. Steve, thank you very much for your message. We have here, good morning, Sage. The minor cabinet change has no significant difference as far as Nigeria economy is still crawling. There are some ministers that are supposed to have gone for obvious incompetence and dereliction of responsibility, but Mr. President decided to leave them. Those in the economic and security ministries have not performed credibly. Why are we allowing them to stay? Political patronage is the issue here. Mr. President should pull himself out of the petroleum ministry as Nigerians are still suffering as a result of enigma surrounding the oil sector. Noah from Igondo. I'm not sure the right word there is enigma, but yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, Mainland FM. Please, some streets at Ekoro Junction, Old Ota Road are not working. Do you mean street light? I'd assume you mean street lights at Ekoro Junction are not working. It should please be fixed. The president should bring down fuel price. Please, what does the appointment that he has made means? And the rate of agbero in Lagos is becoming unbearable. Isioma from Abule. Thank you very much, Isioma, for your insight. More messages. My name is Levi Aka from Agor Palace. I have 2 requests for Mr. Fuad. Please, I would like to know more about the livestock ministry. Is it for a particular part of the country? Secondly, what do you think devaluing our currency will bring about the much needed development in the future? Japan, China once devalued their currency. Today, they are a great economic power. I would like to know your opinion. Thank you. Don't worry. Next week, I actually intend to have a conversation about currency performance on the Situation Room next week, Wednesday. So I will, it was part of my plans. I guess you're just reading in my mind. Currency performance and reference to the recent report that the Naira is one of the worst performing currencies in the world. So it sort of forced me to want to talk about it. So we can talk about currency devaluation and the supposed economic benefit that it's supposed to have. We'll have an expert join us for that. Thank you so very much for reminding me again. All right, then we have here the major pivots to poverty in Nigeria. If PMS increases, we should listen and revert back to the old price. Ifeanyi from Asheshe. And this message here before I go back to the phones. Good morning, Sage and Fuad. So 6 additional fighter jets for the same Air Force that would leave the bandits and Boko Haram and accidentally bomb innocent citizens at IDP camps. What about the Tucano jet? Or is this another avenue to borrow money and share among political allies? May God save Nigeria. Dr. Ojiri sends that particular message. Still Mainland Focus, Open Mic Thursday. Let's take your submission. You're listening to Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. I'm Sage Babalola and I'm here to take your opinions. Hello. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Babalola. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, Peter Monse is my name.
All right.
Now, Babalola, I want to remind us of the promises of Tinubu. I want to reference him if there is opportunity. One time we played their soundbite. Tinubu told us when he was complaining, let me quote him, I will give you 24 hours electricity. And you will not pay a estimated bill again. Has he done that? What is happening today? This estimated bill is not even just with the harassment in it. In my area, where I have my shop, because in my house I use a prepaid meter, but my shop is a estimated bill. We know we have how many days of national grid collapse. We didn't have light for about a week. And after that, they brought light. I mean, Shillong side, Owodimi, and all those areas off Shillong Street. And then throughout yesterday, we did not have light. And such a situation, the local people shouldn't have the guts to bring their red water. So they want to cut out that people have not paid for last month. Now, if we do anything now, they will say we take laws into our hands. Can they tell people that we told us that we will not pay estimated bill again? And these people have become so devilish in the way they go about this estimated bill collection. I think it should check that. Not only and today, when I believe when Tinubu is the like we're going to school as students, the government did everything to encourage them to go to school. They give them free food, they give them everything they needed. But today, our children, how many? 20 million children out of school. The worst record all over the world. That was the news from another station yesterday. They say the worst all over the world. And imagine 30 million. And then those that are not feeling, 11 million. What that Tinubu this can happen? Can somebody ask me what Tinubu has come to do for Nigeria? I don't want to talk much because yesterday I was referencing what Shetima said when he was campaigning, that it is the time for Tinubu to come and enjoy. And what was against that? I don't know whether it has become a trend to reference what people have said. I want them to talk
Thank
about
you,
what.
Mr. Peter.
Let's investigate.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so very much for your insight. We appreciate you. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Babalola. Yeah. My name is M쏘ɪᴜᴜ I'm calling you from Lɪਧᴇ.
All right.
Please, my regards to Fuhad.
Okay.
Please, it's very unfortunate that Lagos State government is using their tax force, their state tax force, to terrorize motorists, especially motorists. In a developing country like Lagos, Nigeria, and Lagos in particular, I don't know how task force will be using aja, that is counts or talks, to arrest vehicles. If you come to Oshogo every day, round junction, every day, their talks have master keys that they use to open people's vehicles.
Hold on. This is a rather hefty allegation to say that the government is.
I know what I'm telling you. It happened to me.
It's a hefty allegation. I get you. I'm not delegitimizing your experience. Hold on. We're having a conversation. Hold on. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that I'm not delegitimizing your experience. I'm just saying it's hefty to say that the Lagos State government is specifically hiring thugs to perpetrate these actions. That's all I'm saying. I'd like for you to.
Okay,
that's all.
If you say I should, yes, I am telling you because I'm a commercial bus driver. My vehicle was at a particular point inside the brown street, parked. The two lanes there are the right lane, they say no parking. The left lane, you can park. I parked my vehicle there. And before I know it, I saw somebody driving my vehicle coming out. Not a policeman on uniform. The next thing, the task force people, the policemen on uniform with their guns, they now enter the vehicle. And I had my keys with me. So I wonder how come. And not only me, most of the vehicles in that very particular street that they arrested, all of them, they drove them, they started in those vehicles with another ignition key. Where is it done in the whole world? Where is such a thing done in the whole world? I'm not saying they should not do their job. Yes, I know. I even thank God for transport and last month in some aspects. But if not for them, this Korope and Marwa people, they will not allow anybody to move to Lagos. But it is very, very bad that government, a whole state agency like task force, will be using talks that they are not uniform people, just scouts. They will be using them to arrest vehicles everywhere. It is so sad. The worst part of it is that they will use another key to start your vehicle when you are not there.
Thank you.
It is not better to remove plate number and even place the tag on the vehicle. That it is also agency that remove the plate number so you can know where to go. Right. If I were not around that day, will I not assume that armed robbers have stolen my car?
I understand. Thank you.
You understand me?
It will be
it's so
looked
sad.
into. It will be investigated and they will let you know what happens. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Hello. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Your name, please.
Engineer Niyi from Yapa.
Nice to have you. Go ahead, sir.
I want to advise that guy to go and engage his lawyer and then fight the issue. You should not be an ignorance in your own country, and you cannot be a slave. Let him go and say yes or no investigation. If he has his fact with him, he should engage a lawyer and sue that task force because they were there. He saw them with their guns and in their uniform. They took his boss to somewhere, and if you engage a lawyer to go and engage sue that office, he will get result on that thing. Then coming to the cabinet reshuffle, Bianca has been named who slapped the wife of the former governor openly when the former governor was leaving the office. Open fight in that place. So that one is coming to be becoming a minister in Nigeria. Olubomi Ojo, who said that they have to change the price of double the price of international passport because Naira has been Naira's value they have reduced the naira value in Nigeria, but other national currencies are not reduced. He should have done something about it in Nigeria because the administration caused it. He should go to Minister of Petroleum to also leave. For God's sake, he should leave the office. And because the other man, Oᴘ was talking the other time, he was yanking up. Anyway, it is in the news that somebody went to court, changed our name to the name that we use, in buying 49% of NNPCL. And they said, they asked the Minister of State, why do you do that? He said that's the best thing that they can do for now. Is it the best thing for Nigeria to sell our common patrimony for each other, for personal reasons?
Thank you for your call. We appreciate you. Benjamin Isse on Facebook says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. If any minister is to be sacked and replaced, I think it should be the Minister of Petroleum. Inasmuch as President Tinubu is still combining Minister of Petroleum and presidency, we go nowhere as far as petroleum, which is the life wire of Nigeria economy. I think I read this on WhatsApp already. Alex Solomon says, good morning, mainland crew. My open mic today is on CNG vehicles. Talking about CNG, it is a known fact that CNG vehicles do require frequent servicing and regular maintenance compared to petrol or diesel vehicles. Specialized mechanics and service centers are also a factor, which can be difficult to find. It would also heighten the overall cost of gas. All right, Alex Solomon, thank you very much. Alex, there a bit of concern. Ralphie AGK says reshuffling of the ministers cannot change anything in this present government. It's just about politicking, making ways for the 2027 election. My question is, can any minister choose to embark on any positive decision without the approval of Mr. President? It's just a way to keep sharing the national cake. God bless you, Oga Fuad. All right, thank you very much. John Bernard he says, my open mic is the president saying either we buy PMS for 1,000 or CNG for 200. I find it completely insensitive on the part of the president. It sounds dictatorial and shows the president has nothing to offer us for now. Chris on Facebook still says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. Until the president sacks himself as the Minister of Petroleum, repair all the 4 moribund refineries, sack the management of NNPCL, and carry out a thorough forensic inquiry into the activities of Mele Kyari and the cabals that have taken over the petroleum industry, I would never believe him and his inhumane economic policies. It's becoming obvious daily that the president does not have any empathy for the suffering masses. All right, thank you. Alex Solomon still says, good morning, mainland crew. My open mic is on the CNG vehicles. Talking about CNG. Okay, you sent your message about 5 times. Thank you very much. We have Shion JC who says, good morning, Mainland FM. My name is Oluwaseun from Ojo. Fight for your place in the world. Fight for your right to exist. Fight for your continental civilization survival in a world that has spent 600 years trying to exploit, colonize, and enslave other people. Our people say no. I might die if I fight. I despise myself so much that I believe that there is no fate more horrifying than dying for my kind. I will fight and die for a visa to the 3rd class status in a foreign civilization, but I'm so worthless and I cannot fight and die for myself. The world is watching with keen interest and taking note. Eventually, we will all get exactly what we think we deserve. It's easy to yank the chains off of a man that is conscious and aware of his enslavement, but it is almost impossible to free a man who views his chains as jewelry and adornment. He knows the best brains, but his own brain is failing him. Nigerians have entered one chance because of tribal sentiment and religious sentiment, and we have ended up letting the worst of us rule the best of us. All right, thank you very much for your message. Christopher F. Young says, hello, Mainland FM. For Mr. President reshuffling his cabinet, I'm not impressed. He passed ministers about the ministries. What impact does it have in the life of the citizens? Nothing. For those state governors that are still paying 8,000 naira to their workers, they should stop. It's an insult to Nigerian workers and Nigerians in their entirety. For CNG, let the government officials start using it first. We the citizens will follow them. Mr. President should not take the silence of Nigerians for granted. Dangote is selling his fuel to the marketers. Is good news. Why then is Dangote silent about the price? He should let Nigerians know how much he's selling it. God bless Nigeria. Thank you. Lukman Oladipupo on Facebook says, what a country. A minister of petroleum who was not competent, it did not sack himself. If someone explains Nigeria to someone else and the person understands, it's either the person is telling a lie or there's something wrong with you. Nigeria is nothing to write home about. Thank you. I hail you from Dakar, Senegal. All right, thank you very much, Lukman. We have Udosa who says, good morning, Mainland FM. Please help me tell the governor to come and carry us from Lagos. We have suffered enough. I don't know where you're from and why do you want to leave? All right, thank you very much for your message. Keep the messages coming in. I'll read them as the show progresses. It's back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
Can you hear me, Miss?
Yes, Sage, I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Eric. I am a good listener. I do listen. I don't call in, but today I feel I have to call in. I was born here in Lagos, and my parents are from Delta State in Okwani, local government of area of Delta State. My friends in Owa, like my family in Owa, cannot go to the farm. My friends in Obiaruku cannot go to the farm. That was not the talking point, for God's sake. A man just called in and he was talking about mechanizing farming, for God's sake. Do you know, are you farming in Lagos? Should you the farm here where you in Lagos right now? It's look, if we know we don't have anything to say, please let us not call in, please. Let's get for the people who want to speak, who wants to say good things, please. Please. Right. We're going through a lot and you're talking about mechanizing farming, for God's sake.
But then you understand everyone is entitled to their opinion.
No, let's face reality. What's your opinion now?
He has a right to speak his mind on the subject matter.
I beg.
He does have a right. You yourself do not have a right to demand that the person share your own sentiment. Don't you think you're doing the exact same thing you're complaining about, demanding that the person align their thoughts with yours? The beauty of conversation is the disparity in our thoughts, the disparity in the way we process information. So if this individual thinks the primary solution to our problem is mechanized farming, by all means they are allowed the privilege or the luxury of that line of thought. If you disagree, tell us why you disagree and prefer your own solution. That's just how conversations work. Let's not attack a person for their thought process. I don't think that's fair. Speak to issues, not to personality. That's one principle that we abide by here at Mainland 98.3 FM. But thank you very much for your opinion. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, morning to you. Your name, please.
My name is Tyler.
Do you mind speaking up a little? It's very difficult to hear you.
Okay, my name is Tyler. I'm speaking to Mota.
All right, go ahead, sir.
My take is on Farouk Lava, who has just been freed from past year's 10 jail. Let me put it this way, that it is a common knowledge that corruption is one of the main problems we have in Nigeria. And if you want to know this, that past year 10 is not, to me, it's not enough for such a crime. I can only express myself better by painting this picture. If anyone has ever seen the mountainous rock in 𝐴ᴏ precisely, and you bring one bulldozer with the intention of uprooting it, you know that will take forever to do. And this kind that is happening in Nigeria, especially in the House of Assembly, and if you bring that to there is no way you can proportion it. But their currency. And now, things that have addressed the problem, which is corruption money or our common wealth, debt in a high, place or in a low place. Good morning.
Morning to
you. Cabinet reshuffle. I was thinking they will actually do a thorough one. Not just to remove one or two ministers and two ministers of state and all kinds of things. I didn't see anything there. There's no change in what you did there. Most of the ministers were put there because of their contribution to your election. Now, election has come and gone. Why don't you put people that will actually drive the economy? And why will you sack 5 and then introduce 7? I don't think that these people are getting it right. And I don't think that this thing that everybody is going through is bothers them. Why will you bloat up the cabinet instead of even reducing it? Why won't you sack all the ministers of state, for instance? What do you need them for? People are looking for food to eat. You are bringing more and more baggage to the nation. Why don't you operate on a lean cabinet? That's what Nigeria wanted to see. If you really feel that people are hungry and it's paining you like it's paining us, why don't you reduce that cabinet? You can operate with 20 ministers or 30 at worst. But nothing will happen. But I think the way these people are looking, they might even bring in more people, even 100 ministers. I'm just looking at two people. I'm not looking at people with my eye.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you for your contributions. That's actually the last call for this morning. I'll just round off by reading the messages that we have on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, we have here, good morning, Mainland FM. My name is Bolaji from Ijoko. On CNG and LPG, I believe that Mr. President is not being sincere. If he is, let us know how he intends to involve our local engineers and teaming youth. I have made CNG and NLG kits for bikes and tricycles here in Ijoko, but right now I'm in contact with Europe for proper cylinders for both. I will definitely need to work with federal government and state government. How do I begin? Please, Fuad, can you help? All right, Ijoko roads are very bad. Mr. Dakwabiodun should please fix Ijoko Agbado road. All right, thank you very much for your submission and well done. We have another one here. Good morning, Mainland FM. If the government is sincere, the president and the ministers, the senators and the governors and their entire convoy should convert all their cars, both official and private, to CNG powered. And for the cabinet, for me, the cabinet face and name is all that has changed, and the reinforcement is already a failure. Those ministers retained what is their performance level? I believe that's what you're trying to say, right? I'll just assume that's what you're trying to say. Those ministers retained, what is their performance level? Did they perform more than the sacked ones? The Petroleum and Blue Economy Ministry as well. In short, all the cabinet should be sacked if Mr. President is serious. Emeka Moses from Lagos. All right, thank you very much. Hi, Mainland FM. There are different factors to which will make Nigerians to continue to import fuel till the end of time. Number 1 is corruption. Number 2 is the influence of the West through the IOCs, our politicians having refineries abroad, the unstable policies and the influence of the World Bank, IMF, OPEC, who continue to condition us on how to run our country through life-ending policies due to the money that we have borrowed from them. Our leaders don't care about the implication of their borrowing on the people. The floating of the naira, as we all know, that the more expensive the dollar is, the more profit these cabals will make when they import their fuel from abroad. And the solution is simple. As I've always championed, a closed economy is necessary, and let the country look inward, as we have almost all the resources in the world. One of the ministerial reshuffle, there won't be any impact on the country and economy. Our issue is hunger, subsidy and floating of the naira. So let us focus on these issues and on insecurity. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Please let's alert the Festac police on this. There is one chance happening in Apple Junction, Amuwo Odofin. Oh, Sean, thank you very much. We hope the authorities are listening to this. All right, we have another one here. Good morning, Sage and Fuad. Number 1, import license was given to importers. Number 2, vessels of imported fuel arrived at the port despite the fact that Dangote has promised to supply our local needs. 3, for how long are we going to continue to import PMS? 4, does the government know that this massive importation is akin to the downfall of our naira? 5, how do we strengthen the naira with this manner of massive importation? If Nigeria continue to lament from now till thy kingdom come as to what is happening in the oil industry, nothing will change. It is now a taboo for anybody to call for a protest for fear of being charged for treason in the country. Let Nigerians stay at home and boycott the filling stations for now until the Minister of Petroleum explains to us what's going on in the oil sector. Stephen Akimbisola, thank you very much. We have another message here. Hold on a second. This is what happens when you send multiple messages across different platforms. I struggle to pick out the ones I've read and the ones I've not read. Okay, good morning, radio. I guess we're all feeling 𝐴̀mílókàn. The single statement of buy petrol for 1,000 or CNG for 200 is so insensitive. What percentage of people are using CNG? How about the pains of changing to CNG? Who is ready for that? Where's the abundance to make that change to CNG? Petrol is largely linked to the lives of Nigerians. He's not even shifting grounds as regards the plight of Nigerians. Who cabinet reshuffle help? The old and the new people, are they not the same? Turn by turn to many people of his side. All right, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And then you say, I know one day is one day. God is on the throne. Trucks from Yaba. And finally, I'll read the message here. Good morning, Sage. I'm Frank from Egbeda. Please, has NNPCL... All right, I don't have the strength for this. We have another one here. Hold on. Good morning. Creating regional ministry to foresee NDDC is a duplication of authority. Oh, all right, we lost that message. Well, I apologize. We actually have come to the end of the program for this morning. This is Mainland 98.3 FM. It's been amazing talking to you. Thank you for engaging us. Thank you for your messages, for your phone calls, amongst other things. For now, we'll take a brief break, a commercial break actually. And right after that break, you get to enjoy Creative Nigeria, your weekly program that talks about the beauty, the splendor of our great country, Nigeria. Amidst all of the many inadequacies, there is still beauty to admire. And Creative Nigeria does a great job at bringing that beauty to the fore. Sage Babalola is my name once again. Mainland 98.3 FM is the dial. The conversation never stops. After the commercial, you have Creative Nigeria. Don't move a muscle.